Parry Talks. We're back again. If you're tuning in after last week's episode, it's a neat continuation from the beers episode, I'd say. We're here with the one and only Ben Johnson. He's the owner, the man of the Lord Gladstone Hotel. Just got to start off by saying, obviously, Parry Talks would not exist without this human being. So just a massive shout out, massive thank you for the space, for everything, for the hospitality, being so hospitable. Yep. That's the word. Butcher it every time. So yeah, thank you for that.
No worries, mate. It's good to have something different happening up here than just young rappers running around the pub. It's good to have people be productive at 9 o'clock in the morning, not just me.
It's rare though.
Yeah,
like, as in, even by my standards, it's like, you know why though? It's not a testament to me. It's because I've got to get a rapper in at 9 a.m. for them to and be productive with them. So that's why it doesn't work. So it's really one and the same. It's like, what do? I just bring more rappers.
You guys are helping each other.
I just bring rappers and DJs here anyway. We will get to all the pub stuff, but I want to start at something pretty cool. You've started this, I don't know what you call it, t-shirt brand, Never Not Clutch. Do you just want to talk through what it is and how it started?
So the Instagram handle's Never Not Clutch, and that's only because, funnily enough, the word clutch on its own was probably taken a long time ago on Instagram, but the brand itself is Clutch, like CLUTCH. Wow.
9 a.m.
So I've always been obsessed with sport, like obsessed. Like there isn't a sport that I haven't played competitively since I was a kid. Like I even got into lawn bowls for a year when I was like.
When you finish, we're gonna go on that lawn bowls distraction.
But I've been obsessed with sport, and I played at some decent levels at a younger age. But because I was so obsessed with so many different sports, I never like concentrated on one specifically. Yeah. So I was like pretty good at a lot of shit, but never really good at one thing.
Yeah, not to talk yourself up.
So, well, I mean, just pretty good. Yeah. Like, I mean, now I'm all busted up. And,
no, if there's one place that you can talk about yourself and gloat, it's on a podcast while you're getting interviewed. So you get free reign to just...
True. So I've always been obsessed with sport, but like as I've gotten older and I've kind of like moving away from playing social sport, I kind of injured myself a few times just recently. I'm also really obsessed with the nostalgia around sport, like the narrative around sport, like stories about coming from nothing to making it. Like the camaraderie between like women and men in team sports, like the solo things, like golfers, like Tiger Woods. And I follow this t-shirt Instagram called Dust Bootleg, and it's just black and white photos of pop culture moments on a t-shirt, and that's it. And I always thought, that's like really cool idea. And then I'm like, well, like I would love to like wear a t-shirt that had like a sporting moment on it that like when I looked at it, I either remember watching it live on TV or being at the game or talking about it and like just like talking about it in generally. So I was like, well, like I love clutch sporting moments, so like why don't I just make a t-shirt with like a clutch sporting moment in black and white with the word clutch underneath, and then that's just how it started.
Beautiful. You mentioned lawn bowls, and I'm sick of people shitting on lawn bowls, looking down at it. The first time I, like fresh 18, I think a couple of my older mates are like, you've got to try this thing. Like,
it's dope.
Just come.
It's so much fun.
And Marrickville Bowler, what a venue as well.
It's a cracker.
And like, it was like 11 o'clock and we walked in and I was like, I'm home. Like, I'm home. It's something else. There's something to it. It's like, it's so underrated. It's criminally underrated. It's the best.
It's so dope. And the way that I started playing it was in high school, like, well, me and all my friends obsessed with surfing, but you weren't allowed to do surfing till like year 9, and you couldn't do your bronze medallion to be able to go surfing until in year 8. So year 7, we're like, well, what are we going to do? And the skate park was right next to the bowling club. So we'd go, well, let's go do lawn bowls because like it'll be a bludge, and we'll go to the skate park for like half an hour before and then afterwards. And then like the first time we were like, oh yeah, this is like lame. It's like really hard, whatever. And then like by the end of the day, we were like so competitively into it. Like it was like me and my best friend in high school, Levi, were like so competitively into it. And we're like, man, this is dope. And then we would like, after about the third time, we stopped going to the skate park and we would go early to practice lawn bowls.
I've lost so much money on lawn bowls as well. Just like,
Oh, really?
yeah, just like 15 on this one. Yeah,
I'm
shit. I get to the point where like I'm just so like I'm competitive, so competitive, and thinking about shit that I roll it with the weight on the wrong side.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
No.
Yeah, when you're like 2 in your head. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I from that we ended up playing. We played for a year, like competitively in our
That's
hometown,
mad.
and like it was like us wearing like baggy Billabong board shorts, and then like 60 to 70-year-old men and women like in their Saturday best kits, and we like won like a B division or something like that, and people were just like, they were like, in one sense they were kind of into it, but in another sense they were just like, these young punks coming in
bastards.
with their hand-eye coordination.
Nah, I feel like I reckon someone has to do it in like full cricket whites and stuff, like a team, and just wipe out everyone over there.
Have you ever watched it on TV?
Yeah, it's great.
It's so sick. It's so sick. At like the Gold, like there's like dope bowling clubs on like the Gold Coast and that, where like
they've got like
the greens are like half like kind of indoor, and they have like tiered seating.
It's like
it's wild.
It's like you're watching like an F1 race, like with all the sponsorships.
It's crazy. And then like when the ball's about to like come close in, there's all these like different camera cues that they have. So like they do like a big crash soon when there's like a ball about to touch the jack. It's like it's like enthralling.
Nah, you know what's we're not going to stay on this for too long. But one of my favorite things about watching it are the sounds. Like the sounds of the balls hitting the other balls. It's so delicate. Alright,
great.
so you've got 3 more t-shirts coming out.
So the first t-shirt that I ever did when I was still kind of like working it all out was, I was like, well, I want to do something that I remember watching live, and also something that will be kind of nostalgic for a lot of people. Like, I mean, I have this thing where I'm like, I'm starting this t-shirt company, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think about it on a large scale. So I was like, something that heaps of people would like. And I made 9 t-shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was John Aloisi.
What a man.
Scoring the penalty goal against Uruguay to put us through to the World Cup finals. I think it was like November 16th, 2004 maybe, or 2002. Yeah. And I remember watching that like at the golf club with like my family and stuff like that, and like how crazy everyone went. It's the picture of him like after he scores at running, where he takes his shirt off and everyone's chasing him. And so I did that one, and I made like 10, and I just ended up giving them to mates.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I'm ready to do this next one. So I made 3, and kind of from that moment of like doing clutch sporting moments, I've started managing Nookie.
Yeah.
Who like has a studio upstairs here at the pub. And just like casually, we spoke about it a long time ago, and I was like, oh, okay, I might like dip my foot into this, something interesting.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about like managing him, and I'm like, oh, well, I'll call my like artist management company, fucking for lack of a better term, one person that's amazing. I don't even know what I'm doing. But I'll call it like, it could be clutch t-shirts and artist management. And then I was like, why couldn't like a clutch moment doesn't have to be sport.
Exactly.
And I was like clutch moments can be anything. Like, so the 3 designs that I've got is a Jordan tee after when he's like jumping in the air after he's like hit a shot. I think it was the three-peat when they won the finals. Another one's like a Kobe last second buzzer beater. And then the third one is the one that I'm wearing now, which is Nookie playing at the Enmore Theatre to like a sold out show for a bushfire fundraiser for the South Coast. Yeah. And I'm like, when I saw the photo, I was like, that's like a clutch moment for Nookie in his career. Playing like the Enmore Theatre is like, if you're an artist in Sydney and you play at the Enmore, that's like a huge deal for you in your music career.
Big time.
And to play like a sold out venue, that's a clutch moment. And I'm like, anything can be clutch. Like graduating like university, that's a clutch moment in your life. Like the marriage equality vote, that was a clutch moment for the gay community.
Yeah.
Like, so then I was just like, well, why don't I can just make t-shirts. Like, so obviously the bulk of them will be sporting clutch moments, but I'm going to like factor in some like other clutch moments as well.
Yeah. And there's a lot of opportunity to get, like, when you're using photos, there's a lot of opportunity to get like other creatives involved as well. Like
100%. Like Adam Scarf took this photo, and I hit him up, and I'm like, hey, how much to use the photo? And he was like, what are you going to use it for? And I explained it to him. He's like, bro, that sounds dope. Just chuck me a couple of t-shirts and we're sweet. And when I tagged him in the post, he was like, man, that's so sick. When can I pick up the t-shirts? So exactly. I look forward to doing that too. And it's kind of like one thing that I've set up this website now, and the one thing that I've kind of led on from the doing the sporting clutch moments, and like say this one Nookie is I've got like a little section there where you can click on, and I can make you a custom clutch t-shirt for like a birthday present or something like that. Yeah. Like if your missus was like, oh, like there's like a photo of Parry when he did like the first podcast with someone, and he like loves that photo, you can like put it on a t-shirt.
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
It's a clutch moment.
It's huge.
So I love the whole idea of just like nostalgic and pivotal moments.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
You know what? And like we'll dig more into the more serious stuff, but I've got one for you.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get this from my mates from Newey, but you need the Matty John's better than Lego. Screenshot on a photo. That's a clutch moment.
There's heaps. Like it can be funny, it can be like a piss take, or it can be like really serious.
Yeah. I feel like Matty John's off his nut with clutch underneath it.
Or like the one of Andrew Johns on the skateboard, like going down the street, like clutch moment for John.
Or in the airport, like
asleep.
Alright, well we're here now. Obviously you're a big Parra fan.
Massive Parra fan. You're a Parra fan too, are you?
Nah, I go for the Dogs.
Oh, that's unfortunate for you.
No, I don't know where you got that from, because I remember the night Parra playing Penrith.
Yeah.
Soon after a reopen.
Yeah.
And
it was only about like a month. Oh yeah, it was about a month ago. Yeah.
And I was going off for Penrith.
Were you going off for Penrith because you wanted them to win, or did you go off for Penrith because you wanted to see Parra lose because I was watching?
No, it wasn't that. It was because Parra were undefeated at the time.
True.
Anyway, sidetrack. So do you think if you're going to put one Parra moment on a clutch t-shirt off the top of your head, I know it's tough to choose.
Oh.
What would it be?
Oh. There's probably like a bunch of Jared Hayne in the 2009 season where they made that massive run and they like were just about to miss the 8 and they made the GF. Like there could be one moment in there, or like maybe there's like a Hindmarsh moment, or like
just Sterlo. Just
you know what I'll do? I'll do. There's like this one moment where like we had Chris Sandow playing for us, and we paid him like $500,000, and he was playing like so bad. Everyone was giving it to me. They're like, "Yeah, Chris Sandow, sick. He's like playing $500,000
Yeah.
And then like halfway into the season, he'd been playing so bad. We were playing so shit. And he hit this like last second field goal to win a game that meant nothing. And I was just like, that $500 was worth it just for that. Yes.
Cristiano Sanders classic. Just like, that's just a rugby league in a bloke.
Oh man, he's like 5'8" and tried to shoulder charge Greg Inglis on the try line one time and just get sent like 10
That's
minutes.
a classic. That's classic footage as well.
It's so good. Yeah, that'd be it. Sandow field goal. Meaningless field goal, but clutch moment because it justified the $500,000 contract in my eyes.
That'd sell like hot. You could sell 300 of those.
Yeah, like there would definitely be a frame of him after kicking it, just like little staunch blackfellow just being like that, like claiming as if he's won the GF.
He may as well have. Has he won a premiership?
Wait, Parra hasn't won a premiership.
No, Chris Sandow.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think he left South before they.
They did, because that was
Kiri
and someone else.
Yeah, that was GI days. Yeah. But no, I don't think Chris Sandow.
Kiri and Reynolds.
Yeah, I don't think
because they beat the Dogs that year.
Smashed the Dogs.
I remember we went as a family, and like Dogs finished 7th that year or 8th, and like I don't know how they were playing like shit, just lucky to scrape in the 8.
Yeah,
and it was like Hodkinson, Reynolds, like Ennis, like just grinders, Desi as well. And it's like they just somehow ended up in the grand final.
And Ennis is my most hated NRL player of all time.
Oh.
I used to genuinely trying to manifest a magpie flying into his face mid-game.
Anyway, so yeah, and like they just ended up in the grand final, and Belmore was pumping.
Yeah,
like Belmore was going off. Like after the semi-final, went to Belmore. Just like every single night leading to grand final, Belmore's going off, and I'm like, this is too much. Like this is not going to end well. And we get to the game, and like my dad turns to me and goes. Like, because the ratio of fans was like 80% Rabbitohs fans. And usually at a Sydney City grand final, it's 50-50.
Was it ANZ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like my dad just turned to me and goes, this isn't going to end well. And then, and GI scored the try right in front of us where he did the goanna. And I was like, just respect. Like,
you got to witness a
clutch moment. Yeah. Apparently you run a pub as well or something.
I run a pub as well.
Apparently. That's what I've heard.
Yeah. Apparently I do.
Some rumour.
Yeah. I certainly spend a lot of time at one. I don't know, yeah.
Just to hang out. It's like me. Just
Yeah. I kind of runs it. No, definitely does not run itself. Yes, I do run a pub. It's
of course.
It's my pride and joy.
I think one of the good things about the Gladdy is that a lot of people, and like, not to just, talk yourself up, but
go for it, bro.
a lot of people know you run the pub, and that's a good thing because like you're a very familiar face, and like you go to the Gladdy, you walk in and you know who runs a pub, which is so rare, I think.
Yeah, I think with this pub is so unique. Like I've run a lot of different types of pubs. I've run pubs that like they make all their money because they got a really good poker machine. And it's a boring as fuck sort of pub to run. I run pubs that are like super live music venues, like the Vic and stuff like that, or traditional pubs like I've ran, or pubs like Kinsella's Hotel up on Oxford Street. That was the first pub that I ever ran in Sydney. But this pub, because of where it's located and what we had to do to kind of get it on the map, it was a very big deal about who was here more so than people coming to the pub itself. So I'm known to not do anything by halves and always throw myself into it. You ever heard the term all the gear and no idea? Yeah. Well, that's me, but then I eventually seem to pick up the idea. Yeah. So I it's a part of my this pub's become part of my personality. Yeah. Like and I understand that, and I'm proud of that. It's not who I am as a person altogether. Like I have a lot of different interests, as we've started to talk about today. But just the way the beers that we have from the beers that we have on tap to the style of art to the people that hang around here and stuff like that. Like I feel like it comes from my personality and also Crummy's personality, which has been a big asset having him on board for the last year, or on board as a part owner of the pub, but he's worked here for a while. But I feel like I know people come here knowing that there's a good chance that me or Mitch will be here. I like spending time here. Yeah. Beer's cheap for me here.
Exactly. Where do you think the pub sits on, like, because you sort of spoke about like a live venue pub and a traditional pub. Where do you think the Gladdy sits on that spectrum? Because I feel like it's like 3D. It sits everywhere.
It is 3D. It has the atmosphere. It has the atmosphere of a traditional pub until the footy finishes. Yeah. And then it turns into a borderline, like late night small bar. Yeah. Nightclub. If there's anyone from APRA or anyone listening, it's not a nightclub though. We don't have a designated dance floor, so don't try to hit me for more fees. But it is. It's a chameleon. I make a joke quite often on like social media posts that I call, when I'm talking about all the different stuff that we might be doing in 1 week, I say we're the Andrew Simons of pubs. We're an all-rounder. Yeah. You can come here on a Monday for a cheap schnitty, then there's an art show on Wednesday, life drawing on a Tuesday night, come down for the most traditional pub night ever, a badge draw for some meat raffles, and then between Friday and Sunday you can see half the genres that exist in music and a bunch of like up-and-coming DJs that are playing Taking Back Sunday through to friggin' Diplo. Like I don't want this pub to be any one specific thing. I want it to be a showcase of culture.
Yeah, it's huge.
I'm also very greedy and impatient, so I'll try to do a million things at once.
Yeah. Yeah, damn, it's so, like, I don't want to bring this up, but it was so annoying because we were going to throw...
I know!
I reckon the hardest dance night, like we were gonna, it was like
the Parry Talks.
Yeah, we had plans to turn it like you walk into upstairs and it felt like you're in a warehouse, like at a warehouse rave.
I mean, I was pumped because I knew, like, having watched you build the podcast, I'm like, well, he's come this far. He's definitely not going to like rest on his laurels now. So this is going to be a bit of an experience.
Mate, we threw everything at that, but no, it also happened.
Was it meant to be the week? Was it?
It was the first week that everything closed.
Shut down.
No, it's cool. Yeah, but like that's
TBC, Parry Talks fans.
That's what I mean. It's going to be even bigger. Yeah. Might have some special guests.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. But yeah, that's what it's like. It's a testament to that because we were going to throw like say for instance, I think like 2 weeks before might have been an ill-equipped party.
Yeah. And there was
like ciphers and stuff.
Otto's house party, which is like all Inner West guitar bands.
Yeah. And then we're just going to throw like an actual rave for 4 hours and just with lasers, everything. We had it all. But yeah, I think it's a testament to that. And sort of back on what you said before, like me and mates, like, I don't know if you know Darcy and Joe.
Yeah.
hang out. Yeah, they are. I always make jokes about whenever you call the Gladiator to make a booking or whatever, you know straight away who's answering because you're screaming through the phone like, Lord Gladstone. And then Mitch is just like, yeah, Lord Gladstone, like just so chill. And like you can just tell. And
I have no concept of how loud or how fast I'm talking. And I just sometimes like I have like my like pub mentor PC, Patrick Coughlin, like he'll just like, he's just like, mate, you need to like, stop talking so loud. Like he's like, I know you don't know how loud you're talking, but you're talking so loud right now. Like I could hear you like coming from like 15 meters away, and I'm like, well, you know what? Someday that's gonna come in
It's
handy,
a good thing,
like
yeah.
to save your life. All right. So yeah, I know people are always like, I know it's you on the phone because like it like maxes the speaker out of my phone. And I'm like, sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a lot of engineering to this episode because you're probably clipping
keep you on your toes. That's why you put this off for so long.
No, the only reason I put it off because I'm really organized and then I'll accidentally forget about something because I'm so organized. Like if I'm accidentally forgotten about something, it just like completely it's
I'm
in
also
my
not
mind
here
region.
that much either. So
Yeah, exactly. I don't see you that much. Obviously as well, and you've been doing this for a while now, the whole pub thing. But you sort of associated with yourself like through, you know, I wrote it down as the ecosystem, the Gladdy ecosystem of just like creatives and people, just familiar face and that sort of thing in music and stuff. What do you think like a common trait is behind sort of everyone has the Gladdy personality in them music wise?
I feel like everyone's very genuine and very like genuine as a person in general, which is a bit of a wanky throwaway comment to say, but I actually mean that, like genuine person and genuinely wants to be involved with what we're doing here, not from a selfish point of view, not come in here and be like you be like, oh, like you're not using the bar during the day, like can I just come and do a podcast and then not contribute whatsoever to the pub? Like you're going to put on that party, you're always here bringing your mates here, you come watch the footy, play trivia,
mate.
and that's everyone that's like is a part of the Gladdy family / ecosystem are all genuine contributing members as to why this pub is what it is. Like it started with me and Paddy, but it's so much bigger than that right now. It comes from everywhere. Like, I mean, Nerv doesn't even tell anyone when he's in Sydney. He just comes straight to the Gladdy and says, I'm here. I'm in Sydney, and they're like, where are you? He's like, at the Gladdy. Like, where else would I be?
Yeah, exactly. When I interviewed him last, because I've done one for Parry Talks and then one for Purple Sneakers, he just messaged me like, do you want to do an interview? I'm like, yeah. And like, he didn't even ask where. He just said, does 3 work? Like, I land at 4. I mean, I land at like midday. Does 3 work? I'm like, yeah, I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
It's like, here.
Yeah, people know. People know.
Yeah. Fuck. And yeah, like
that's the common
try
trait.
spend a lot of money on beers. Like,
yeah. No, you don't try. You succeed.
Yeah, we. No, but I'm doing this new thing. You're a bit older than me. Tell me if it'll work. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like if I don't drink on weeknights, it'll do me well.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a new thing.
I can tell you that not from being older. I think that's just from a health standpoint. Like, if you drink less alcohol, it's better for you.
No, but I feel like a lot of people will have like 3 beers. Like, I'm not saying like a binge drink.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I don't know, maybe just lose a couple kegs. I went on a very average Googling streak of like, look how many carbs are in a Carlton or VB, and it's just like, oh, this is grim ass.
If you want to lose weight and still be able to drink alcohol, you can only drink light beer because it's literally the alcohol content that gets you the most with the calories and stuff like that. I reckon like I still try to do 1 or 2 alcohol-free days a week, usually at the start of the week, and then at the start of the week I'll kind of like my drinking habits will be more to try new things. Yeah. Like I'll get like some crazy new beers from the liquor emporium up the road from my house, or some natural wines, and then me, my sister, and my girlfriend might have a glass each over dinner. So I try to have the start of the week to try new shit. Yeah. And then at the end of the week, if there's anything on or it's going to turn into a bit of a session, that's when I'm smashing BBs and Bundy and Cokes.
Oh wow, we'll get to that. Yeah. But I want to start here, like before we get to that end of the spectrum, we'll go to the other end. I'm an amateur, but I started drinking natty wines like a fortnight ago, and oh my god, it's changed my life.
In what way?
It's just like, I feel like, because I never was sold on wine.
Yeah.
Ever. Like sold on wine where it's like, I'd choose this over a beer ever in any situation. But I don't know, I didn't even know what they're called. I don't even know what the hell natty wine is, but it was like orange, and I just had a sip and like, I'm home.
Yeah, it's cool. They're great. I mean, it's funny. Like I've been in the hospitality industry now since I was like just turned 18. I'm 34 now, so like 16 years. And I've watched the drinking habits and the drinking styles and the innovation evolve. And like, I mean, when I first moved to Sydney and started working in pubs and bars up here, like the term mixologist was just starting to get thrown around with cocktails. And I had to like, it still is the biggest wank ever.
Yeah.
Mixology and stuff like that. But the products that are produced and the drinks that are produced and the experiences of drinking that are produced from that, call it wanky if you want. That's a very, very easy thing to do. Yeah. But it's an enjoyable experience to have some wild drink that comes from things that you didn't even know existed or could be fermented or could be dried and stuff like that. It's the same with wine and beer. Like, you don't just have to go down, like, don't get me wrong, my favourite beer on tap is a VB. Yeah. My favourite rum is Bundy OP. But, like, to be able to have all these different experiences through drinking alcohol, through education and through knowledge, like, it's awesome. And that's why people get obsessed with it. Yeah. Become mixologists or become craft beer enthusiasts or become natty wine enthusiasts, because the possibilities and the experiences are literally endless. Yeah. Because you can have a different experience drinking the same wine at different temperatures or in different atmospheres or at different times of the day. And people might think, oh, that's so wicky, man, just like have a schooner. Well, you just have a schooner. Yeah, all right? Exactly. I'm going to go have some mad experiences. I'm
going to have a fuzzy little wine and not feel shit after.
But they're dope. The whole natty wine thing is...
And we got the natty by nature.
Yeah, there's a couple of friends of mine and Mitch's, Alan and Ryan. They did a festival down on the south coast because they're both like quite veteran hospitality dudes, and we're into the natural wine thing. And they're like, let's do this natural wine thing, but make it a cool, fun experience. Yeah. And so they did a festival, and now I don't know enough about natural wines to want to devote enough time to understanding what I should get in the pub. Yeah. So I just said to them, hey, can you send me some cool shit? So they just pick a bunch of varieties, and I say, that sold really well, that didn't sell as well, and then we just go from there. Yeah.
Just ask for the cheapest glass.
Yeah.
No, but we say that, but then 90% of the time, if I'm drinking alcohol, I'm drinking Reshes. So...
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm not trying to drink cheap white wine. I was scarred from underage drinking goon by cheap white wine. So, although in saying that, the cheap white wine here is fabulous.
Exactly. Come down. Where does your session from Bundy come from?
You know,
I had to ask it.
I grew up in a very small town on the south coast, 4 hours south of Sydney. It's called Churros Head. It's in like an area of the south coast called Eurobodalla. And like, it's like, man, I was a coasty bogan growing up. Like, if you wanted to drink bourbon, you drank Woodstock or Jim Beam. If you wanted to drink like sweet drinks, you were drinking Pulse cans, Smirnoff Double Blacks, or Cruisers. And if you wanted a rum, it was Bundy. And if you wanted a rum that was gonna like knock your socks off a bit more, it was Bundy OP. And I think I just like drank it to the point where I was just like, it's like
you're really, immune, yeah.
It's like really sweet too, and I have like a massive sweet tooth, but it's very just it is an experience for me drinking it. Like when I had that first sip and like the heavy, intense smell, for people that's like off-putting and like, oh yeah, like it's like you're gonna punch on it and stuff like that. I'm just like, you don't know how
the Queensland fighting juice. Yeah.
I'm like, this is sugarcane champagne, baby. And when I bring that up to my lips and I smell that pungent, thick, dark Bundy smell, I'm just I'm transported back to like hiding in the sand dunes at the golf course, like sculling goon bags, and like, I mean, we never could afford bottles of Bundy, so we were probably buying hip flasks or pinching them from somewhere. But
there you go.
It's an experience. Bundy's an experience. Bundy is an experience.
I got to get paid for that.
I hope so. I'm trying my hardest to get noticed by Bundy by my hashtag Bundy goes with everything campaign.
Well, I was sus on that because I was like, surely we're getting some money in this, and you tap on the hashtag to see if like Bundy's been feeding it through. It's nothing else. It's just you.
No, it's just me. And you know what? I know people that work for the company that owns Bundy. So if I really wanted to push that button, I reckon I could. But it's half a piss take and half
Yeah,
fun.
exactly.
And if it gets picked up organically, well, then I think that means a lot more than me sending texts about trying to get the Bundy hookup.
Bundy Cokes, me and my brother always joke the vanilla, like just a vanilla Coke. It's like, what are you drinking? Yeah, vanilla Coke.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. It's sweet and smooth. Yeah, it's good. It's a vanilla Coke that can get you in a lot of trouble.
No, not if you drink responsibly.
Yeah, of course.
But I hate the whole like rum makes you like all alcohol will make you bash someone if you can't control it.
If you're a
like,
dickhead,
yeah, exactly.
You're a dickhead.
That's it.
Yeah, if alcohol's going to bring out being a
you already
dickhead,
are one, yeah.
It's going to bring it out. It's not just Bundy. It's going to be vodka or anything like that. Like, I mean, I've drunk Bundy like forever, and I've never had an experience where it's like, oh yeah, you like.
Now I'm more angry.
Like
yeah.
10 dudes, like probably punched on with 10 dudes for stupid reasons, but it's never been from drinking Bundy. But I have seen people.
Exactly.
I have seen rum rage. Like I had, like back in my hometown, like when I was running the pub there, like there was a couple of blokes who, like, I wasn't allowed to serve spirits, specifically rum, after like a certain time on a night. So it is a real thing for some people, but it's because they're dickheads, not because of the rum.
Exactly. Yeah. Shit, there's probably some classic stories from that pub.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there is. Having to put people in a courtesy bus home that used to babysit me and convince them to go home to their families was always an interesting experience.
Huge. You were the second parents.
Well, yeah.
All these middle-aged men.
They're like, I used to look after you when you were kids, and now you look after me. And I'm like, okay, I don't know if that really makes sense.
Yeah.
But sweet.
It's not meant to work that way.
Sense, but sure.
Yeah, shit, Bundy. How good. Vanilla Cokes. I feel like another interesting point to make is the whole... Obviously, you have a lot of connections, you could say, and like so do a lot of people, and so does sort of everyone that hangs around here, you know. And like people will be like, how did you get this DJ on? How did you get Triple One, whatever. And a lot of people talk about this whole thing of networking.
Yeah.
But networking's so weird because like it's what starts off as networking. Like I guess by definition, me finding these friends is networking because like I've been in the right place at the right time, had the right conversation. But like at the end of the day, you just become mates with people and you sort of hang around with people that think the same as you. And you've got a lot of connections. Do you think that that's how it sort of works for you? You just sort of became mates with people? Or do you think there was a bit more strategy to it at the start?
I believe that I'm a very, very sentimental person. Yeah. Like I don't know what an acquaintance is. You're either my mate or you're not.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like maybe with people like within the hospitality industry that I deal with on like a purely business level, but even then a lot of the time they become friends of mine too. I can't like meet someone and then not like pursue that connection like as a friendship unless they're an absolute kook.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure people think that about me as well. So I don't. It's very rare that I meet someone for the first time and think they're a kook. So yeah, like I can't not be mates with people, and I can't not be mates with interesting people. And like we have a lot of interesting people that come through here, and like it's an interesting pub and it's an interesting industry, and the events that we do here, everything about that we do at this pub, just from a pure like industry standpoint, is going to be interesting. Alcohol's interesting, live music's interesting, podcasts are interesting. So I meet all these interesting people, and it's like, I was wondering if we could do this at the Gladstone. And I'm like, if I believe in what they do and find it interesting, I'm going to say yes, and then I'm going to be interested in it. So I'm going to like pursue that friendship or that relationship more. I mean, the term networking seems very like corporate and structured, whereas like, I mean, it makes sense, but a network sounds like there's a bit of organisation to it. There's absolutely no organisation to the network here at the Gladiator. Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's great.
I wanted to ask this as well. Sort of starting a new sort of sidetrack. What is like your taste in music now? Like obviously when you come to the Gladi, it's always like almost always just like sample based hip hop, boom bap stuff to chill out to. But you've also posted some pretty etch things on the stories and stuff. Like, how would you describe it?
Wait, what does etch mean first? Can we just like define the word etch?
What does it sound like?
It sounds like you're about to write me off.
No. Etch is just like it sounds a bit like how you going.
Yeah, like etch is in like sketch.
Yeah, sort of, but like
sketchy, a bit like how you going.
But like,
so you're about to take the piss out of me.
No. But things that are how you going can also be quite good.
Not when you put that inflection on it.
So yeah, how would you describe your taste? What are you listening to? What are you vibing?
Man, I like my taste in music is exactly the same as it was before. Like when I started listening to music, like I grew up on punk, hardcore, metal, and like heavy emo and pop punk. I mean, I literally dyed my hair orange because of how much I love Paramore.
Yeah.
And like I got my whole birthday presents like that I got on the weekend for my birthday were all Paramore themed. Like that's what I'll listen to. Sometimes when I know that it's not going to be that busy for a while, I just play Paramore in the pub by myself. But because of what this pub is, and like kind of like its main roots were based in hip hop. I mean, don't get me wrong, I freaking love hip hop.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows about the MF Doom mask up behind there, and MF Doom mask is the Badgie logo. Yeah. And I love hip hop. But like if I'm in my car, I'm listening to really heavy or really fast or really whiny music.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's very interesting, yeah. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's such a, and like, I don't know, like, I'm not saying that you're old, but I feel like it's just like such a generational thing, how crazy different generations are, like what sort of forms their musical taste and how it sort of like loops back around generation wise. Cause like the whole, like sort of pop punk thing sort of came back around with like Lil Peep and like Goth Boy Click and stuff, and it sort of like re-emerged with like, well, even like Juice WRLD and stuff. It's like so inspired by that stuff. It's super cool. It's super crazy. And like now a kid that's like starting to listen to music, listening to that stuff, will probably have a similar taste in music to you in terms of like the vibe of it. Whereas someone in between like me was like so like 50 Cent sort of like,
I mean, so I was
it's
that
crazy.
too, man.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know. It's
like, I mean, like the Little Peep's a perfect one. Like that, they put that first mixtape that he did, the Crybaby one, up, and like that song White Tea that has the Postal Service sample at the start. Like if you were like really young and before Postal Service time, like we're kind of like after Postal Service, we're finished up as a band, and then listen to that, being like, oh, that's so crazy. I wonder where they get that from, or if that's a sample, and then found it out. Like. You're gonna find that, and then they have like the Oasis kind of like riff in that song as well. Yesterday, but I don't know, man. I like I was saying before, I'm a pretty sentimental person. Like some pretty like sentimental lyrics coming from like pop punk and like emo and stuff like that.
It's mad.
I'm just a big sook, to be honest.
We all are deep down. Sounds some pretty hectic parties here. That's an understatement. What do you think? So we'll start. What do you think the best party is? Like not so much hectic in terms of chaos, but in terms of like you just walked around the pub and it's like this is really well sort of run. This is like not to pick a favorite child, but in terms of just like this is just. Well,
the one that comes to mind straight away is the first ever Bad Deep Christmas party that we did with the guys from Entropico.
Yeah.
I just remember we had like DJ decks and they dressed the pub up with so much cool Christmas decorations, and then we had like DJ decks set up out in the beer garden on the back deck. We had a room upstairs that was like a rave cave, and then we had like a bit of like stripped down live stuff like duos and solo acts in the front bar. So it was just like this pub is quite a small pub, but then like you can walk 10 meters and have like 3 different like musical experiences. That was probably the one that comes to my head. Like, I mean, I know you said not the most hectic, but the most hectic and craziest party was Purple Sneaker's 10th birthday.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Insane. That was so insane. Like, there's like a photo that we turned into like a big vinyl on the front of the pub that was the one that says like, I think it says like open till 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And it's the picture of the lineup around the pub that went nearly to Cleveland Street.
That was hectic. That was like
so hectic.
That was well before I was ever associated with Purple Sneakers. I remember I was sitting on the couch here, saying, "What is going on?"
It was insane.
And then the year after as well was crazy, where like Will R.S. Clay played his first ever show here, which is like crazy. And like some of the names on that lineup, like now are just like.
I still remember like when Winston Surfshirt played in the beer garden.
Yeah.
And then I was like 6 months later they're like playing Splendor, or like a year later they're playing Splendor, and I'm like, oh, that's that band that played. I'm like, yeah, they were cool.
Now they're huge.
Yeah.
What do you reckon the most chaos in a good way, other than the Purple Sneakers party? You reckon what stands out? Just like chaos, just like holy shit.
Man, it wasn't like in a good way so much, but we did this like really, really hectic like drill and trap party. I forget the name of it, but it was these dudes from Western Sydney, young guys, and like it looked like a Las Vegas strip club flyer. The artwork for it.
Oh wow.
It was hectic, and like I think like Spacely and like a bunch of like pretty well renowned like Western Sydney kind of like drill trap rappers like played. Hooligan Hef's played.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Marty like Triple One Marty was working behind the bar at the time, and he was like, but there's like a lot of hectic people from out west, like, and like there was like not a fight or anything like that, but like dudes standing on like the DJ table like in the main bar, and it like collapsed and smashed everything, and like then we had to like, it was like one of the only parties we ever had to shut down early because it was just like, it was getting too wild. It was like, it felt like, I don't know, like Canterbury Leagues Club nightclub, but in the Glady, it was a hectic crowd to say the least.
Canterbury League Club's it's gentrified as.
I mean,
probably like a little cafe
I've
there.
actually never even been there. I just threw like a Western Sydney suburb out there. Like,
No, Canterbury's not west at all.
It's like southwest.
You're gonna cop it for that. I hope you cop it.
Sorry.
Canterbury's inner west, I think.
I know jack shit about anything more west of Marrickville, so I apologise to anyone that I offend with regions and areas. Like I don't go any further west of Marrickville hardly ever.
Canterbury Leagues.
I don't know. I'm just like,
no, it's all good.
Edit that out, please.
Nah.
I'm ready to get roasted.
Someone from West Sydney is like Canterbury. Canterbury's inner city.
No, it's like southwest, isn't it?
It's
Southwest.
like 25 minutes from here.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't know.
Anyway.
Whatever.
Yeah. What are some other names? I'm trying to think as well that have like sort of started here, played here, and then all of a sudden it's just like holy shit. Artist wise.
Good question. I mean, off the top of my head, I don't know.
DMA's ever play a show here, acoustic show or something?
Yeah, I think they did.
Got the guitars out.
Yeah, I think they had before. I mean, they played so many other bands that like all their other bands have definitely played here. Oh man, you've stumped me on this one. I mean, I'm positive that there is. I'm positive there is some people that have played.
We've just named a heap anyway.
Pardon?
We just named a heap anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Winston Surfshoot is always the one that comes to mind as the biggest one.
It's crazy.
She never played here, but Halsey was hanging out here when she like first came to Australia and played Field Day.
What a sport.
She was nice. She was in this bar. We just like shut the bar, and her and this pop punk band Neck Deep came through because my mate Sam works for Secret Sounds was like, hey, I've got Halsey and she's with Neck Deep because they're touring and they were like wanted somewhere fun to go. There was also a bit like low key, and I'm like, well, I just shut the upstairs bar at the Glady. Do they want to come hang up there, and I'll just come and serve them some beers and tequila shots. And he was like, yeah, perfect. And they just came and hung out here for a couple of hours. So,
beautiful.
Yeah, I didn't even really know who Halsey was at the time. So.
If you had, you know how like if you go to Harry's Cafe de Villes and shit, they've got like
like the Hall of Fame shit, yeah.
Oh no, actually stuff that. What's the I'm gonna get grilled for this as well. What's that oh sorry, I've got it, don't worry. If there was a Glady Mount Rushmore, as in like 5 iconic, you know what Mount Rushmore is, right?
Yeah.
Right. Took me a while to get it out.
Yeah.
Who would be on the Glady Mount Rushmore?
But like, okay, so that's a very, very general question. Are we just talking like,
in terms
are we talking like patrons, or are we talking like
patrons? Sorry, not people that have rolled up. Well, not Halsey's, like
Glady, the Glady Mount Rushmore. Would probably,
like so you and Mitch.
Yeah. Oh, like Paddy Coughlin there as well. I reckon.
Joanne.
Oh yeah, that's new generation. That's new generation Mount Rushmore. Because there's other people that should be like above them.
I reckon we'll stick New Gen because I feel like a lot of listeners are New Gen.
New Gen, like Paddy's gonna hate this if he ever listens to it. He gets the shits because after I bought the business off him, he heard some like young kids talking when he was here and like didn't own it anymore. And they're like, yeah, we're at the Glady, man. The Glady's so sick. It's like the new home of Sydney hip hop. And Paddy was like,
new?
Are you kidding me, bro? Like,
works for
like
years.
4 years later, you're like, oh, I said, man, they're probably in high school when we first started the pub. Like, give them a break. But New Gen.
That's probably my mates.
Yeah. Oh no, you know Big Grayson.
No.
Big Grayson. He's the bigger crew fella that's always here, and he's like mad dancer and shit.
I don't think so. Get him on it.
Yeah, he's put in a good campaign. Like
Big.
if he was like running to like replace someone,
Yeah.
right now he's having he's putting up numbers. Triple
Big.
doubles all over the shop. He's had some clutch moments here at this pub. Nookie's on there as well.
Yeah, big time.
Nookie's 100% on there.
We should have a... Actually, I don't know. This probably doesn't really work with the RSA. But like a Dalian medal. And you just log how many beers everyone's had at the Gladdy.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Like, even if people stopped paying close attention, and it got close, they would try to win. And then, yes, I'd have some very serious RSA issues going on.
Dalian.
Or maybe I can create an app where it's not about drinking, but just it's geo fenced and it clocks how long you're at the Gladdy. So it's time spent.
Right. Because you'd be able to spend more time here the less you drink, in my opinion.
The less you drink.
In my, as in.
Oh yeah, if you drink,
if you drank less,
you'd
be like,
kicked out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're just sitting, you could I could legit just get a sleeping bag in good space.
Yeah. Oh no, you're getting kicked out for that. If I see anyone sleeping in the pub, they're gone.
Beautiful.
But that's it. It'd be minutes clocked at the Glad. And if you're in the main bar, it's like a scale. Like you get more points if you're in the main bar or the beer garden.
Yeah.
But if you're up here at 9 a.m, you're not getting that much points.
Yeah, true. But you're still here.
Yeah.
Wow. Dalian. I always I don't know why I've ever thought of this, but I feel like we need a Gladdy Olympics.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Actually, we won't go there. Every year, I don't know if you've heard about this thing called Musica Copa.
Yes, I have. I played in it.
Yeah, good.
I played for the IOU team a few years ago.
We should have a Gladdy Musica Copa team.
We were meant to a couple of years ago, and then they kind of overbooked the teams, and we were kind of I guess we were an emergency reserve. Yeah. And so we ended up sponsoring it instead. Frank Strong, Samuel Gladstone did, and we had the after party at here. We had the after party here for 1 year, but I would love to. I would love to. I've played soccer since I was 4 years old.
Under control as well, a great bunch of people. Yeah. We played it last year for my work. So much fun, but we needed some size. Imagine Martin playing futsal.
Oh yeah, and Mitch and Dave play futsal. Mitch is good. Mitch is a good soccer player. So it's Dave's a unit. And Nookie could run around. He'd be real tricky. He wouldn't be that skillful, but be real quick.
Yeah.
And he could also be a bit of an enforcer.
Exactly.
There was a couple of staunches when I played.
Yeah, that's very competitive.
Johan got taken out by this dude. I think he was playing for a Red Bull team or something like that. And
no. They've got the All Stars where actual good soccer players play with dogs. Yeah.
They're ex-Socceroos and shit, man. It was wild. And Johan got taken out. And he was off it. And I was just okay, this is my time to show him that it was a good idea to bring me on. I went full staunch this bloke. And he's oh, I'm sorry, but it's let's not be too serious.
Nah, it's because music industry people haven't gone outside in years. Get this little up anyway.
Oh yeah, they're all armchair athletes.
Shit, that's good shit. Sort of get it more back on track, a bit more serious as well. When you sort of talk about Paddy's influence as well, and sort of developing a music culture. Do you think when you started it, there was what was the plan for the music culture here compared to sort of how it's turned out to be? You sort of talk about it being a bit of everything, where it's just a showcase. Whereas did it start like that, or did it start maybe a bit more concise and niche?
Paddy is he understands trends and local cultures and local communities better than anyone I've ever known in my entire life. And we laid the foundations for knowing that style of building a business would work from Vic on the Park, which Paddy used to own, and it was the first pub I was licensee of in Sydney, because we understood that in the inner west there was a lot of different, I think for lack of a better word, probably not the best word to use in this day and age, but at the time we would say different tribes. Well, there's different subcultures. Yeah. So there was all the inner west punks. Mm. So we would have punk nights on a Thursday, and then there was the inner west hip hop scene, One Day, Horror Show, Spit Syndicate. So we got in with those guys and started One Day Sunday. Then there was a big art and graph scene, which kind of melded into both of those music genres. And then there was people love sports, so we'd always have the big screen out the back, the big screen inside, the basketball hoop. There was all these different subcultures and different crews and people that are into Me and Paddy always used to say hipsters want to watch the footy too.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I mean?
We do. We do.
Hipsters want to watch the footy too, so we should create an environment in the inner west where they don't feel like they're coming in and watching with a bunch of like Tui's extra dry drinking Desmonds.
Yeah.
Because they like watching sport as well. Like there was all these like people who like cross over and like the hip hop guys like the indie bands that their mates play because they want to support them, and they also support the Doggies or the Eels or the Dragons. They want to come and watch the footy. And we wanted somewhere where you could do all of that, but didn't feel out of place at any time. Like, oh, let's not go watch the footy there because it's a bit of a Gronk crowd. We'll go there afterwards. Yeah, you can come here and have knockoff beers from work, watch the footy with your mates, and go straight into a party with relatively the same core crew, and you don't feel out of place at all, no matter who you are. Yeah, it's about being authentic.
Yeah, that's why it's dangerous as well, though, because I used to finish work on a Friday. And it's like, even with Frida's down the road, it's like, finish work, drink, sun's still setting, get dinner, watch the footy, then go to Frida's down the road, or then stay here for a party, or go up to Good Space. And it's just like, holy shit, it's 10 o'clock, I've been drinking for 7 hours. Yeah. And it's like, oh, God.
Yeah, lost in the Gladdy vortex.
Oh my God, we're going to pinch that. Yeah, but it's true, though, because time just flies, because it's like, there's always something else on.
Isn't there like a saying or something? Like, time flies when you're having fun?
Oh, yeah, true. I can't say I'm having fun, though.
Yes, you are. I watch you. You're having a lot of fun.
Oh, my God. I can't imagine what goes down on security cameras after.
Yeah, it's all... Yeah, there's... I mean, security cameras only catch the main public areas, so all the dumb shit that you would think would happen, someone probably saw it in real life.
Exactly, yeah.
There's no hectic stuff that happens.
Yeah. Oh, no. I feel like one of the funniest things you probably catch me doing is I'll come in sober and drop a beer and be like, oh, great. Because I am such a klutz.
Yeah.
It's bad, and I feel like you could get some good moments there from me. I'm trying to think of any other shockers I've had here. My birthday was great. My birthday last year.
Shocker, but you always keep yourself pretty composed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tip is you got to stay sitting down. If you feel in trouble, you just sit.
Yeah.
And then just, you can't look that pissed sitting down.
Yeah. Yes, you can.
No, as in, if you don't stand up, if you're just sitting down, you keep drinking.
Yeah, but that's when you go to stand up. That's when it catches
that's what I mean. That's why you go.
You only get up to leave. You just leave like this. You just like pissed everywhere because you haven't gone to the bathroom at all.
Also, just like to sort of wrap up the main part of the interview. How do you think? Obviously, there's been changing of the guard with ownership. A lot of obviously like new generation, old generation. Glad we've sort of spoken about. Do you think overall the vibe of the pubs has changed that much over the time, or do you think it's still pretty similar, just like a couple new faces doing similar things?
The vibe definitely is similar because it comes from like a core ethos, and that core ethos still holds no matter what the generation is. Yeah, and that's about like authentic people like coming here to have a good time, like no bullshit, like pure no Gronk policy. So I think the vibe's similar. It probably seems a little bit more hectic to me just because I'm now, like, it's been 5 years. And, like, I mean, 5 years, this is going to sound stupid to put it like this, but 5 years is half of 10. And 10's a decade. Yeah. And a lot changes in a decade, so already halfway through that. Yeah. So, like I said, there's people that were not legally allowed to come here 5 years ago that might have been 16, 17.
That was me.
That was you. That was you. That are now like 21, 22 years old, who might have heard about it from older brothers and stuff like that, like the Glad. Yeah. And then they come here and they're like, the Glad. And I'm like, I certainly feel a lot older than I should by watching the different generations come through this pub in the last 5 years for sure. But the general vibe's still the same. The parties have changed slightly a little bit. Like we certainly have a lot more electronic music now. It was a bit more like guitar band and drum bands, and then hip hop was the other one. But we do have a lot more electronic music here.
Just
now.
quietly, it's a lot easier as well. Got USBs,
True. It is. But it's kind of like the one genre that I've never really been able to get my head around and listen to like casually. Yeah. So it's always the one that I've kind of pushed back the most on, and I've had to kind of like with you, like I know that you love your rave music and stuff like that. So if you want to do a party here, I trust you to do it because I know you and I know you're going to do a good job of it. Yeah. But if some random promoter came up and said, I want to do like an electronic techno DJ party, they'd have to really sell me on the artists, and also like I'm always like, what's the party about though? Like, what's the vibe of the party? Because anyone can just put USBs into some CDJs and a couple of shit streamers up and turn a disco ball on. But if you have a vibe, an aesthetic to the artwork, like a community built around the party itself already that are going to support it, that's what I want happening.
Yeah, exactly. Big time. Yeah, electronic music is it's good because it's easy, but at the same time, it's like, because it's easy, it has to be curated, so meticulously and so like carefully.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I know. And like the only time that I've ever really been into it is in a big open field, wearing sunnies, under the influences of adult substances.
With a singlet on.
With this, no singlet. I can't do a singlet anymore. I haven't got the traps for it.
Fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
No, we would have changed that for you. We would have thrown you the best night.
Yeah.
Of your life.
Maybe you can make
we
me a
will.
playlist. Maybe you can make me a playlist to get into of some good local techno that I can listen to casually.
Do you know what? No, the big thing is, if you want to listen to electronic music, don't necessarily put on a playlist.
Yeah.
There's these things called, well, not these things called mixes, but there are a lot of really good mix series from like local record labels and stuff, and they'll have local DJs on. They'll DJ for 45 minutes. All these like crazy songs that you like no one's ever heard before, less than 1,000 streams on Spotify, but they're just sick songs. You just put them on in the background. Yeah, that's the vibe. Rather than it being like, I'm gonna listen to this dance album from this local, it's different, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I always used to, 82.
Yeah, of course.
She used to come DJ when I used to run a venue over in Balmain, and this is like 6-7 years ago.
She's the best.
And she used to come DJ over there, and she used to like DJ that really like kind of lo-fi-ish sort of stuff. And I used to like always make a joke at her, and I'm like, I'd come in like 20 minutes later after seeing her, I'd be like, oh, is this still the same song? And she'd be like so off it, because I know that people would like who don't
that's so
like
annoying.
that music would always take the piss out of her. So that's what I always think of. I walk into these things and I'm like, these people been listening to the same song for an hour and a half. And
same dance as well. That's what I mean. You don't have to move. You just do this for 2 hours, and because it's all still in time. Even when the DJ's trained, because they're still mixing into this, like they mix out of the other person's last song and mix into their first song.
Beat match,
like
bro.
Nothing changes. Nothing
Keep
changes.
the beat.
Yeah.
Get a beat match, bro.
All right. Now to the tough questions. Quick fire. Don't think too long about it, but we can get sidetracked on them. Shit, we've been already going for an hour. Most underrated Australian artist, other than Nookie.
No, Nookie's not underrated. Kobe D.
Done. Easy. Correct.
Yeah.
Favorite member of Triple One.
Oh, that's not fair. I'm not answering that.
All right. How about this?
I'm not. I'm not answering.
No. It's completely different. Oh, God. Most. And this doesn't mean you like them the least. Most annoying member of Triple One.
I'm not answering that either.
Why not?
It's Connor.
Yeah. Me and Connor.
It's not. I'm so. It is you, Connor. You know it.
Yeah. But that's a positive.
No,
trait.
It's not. Let's not try and spin that.
Fave power player right now. There's a correct answer as well.
Is there?
No, there isn't.
You think the correct answer is Gutho?
No. Junior Paulo, surely.
Oh yeah, no, I love Junior Paulo. No, I'm really into Mitch Moses at the moment.
That's nice.
He's
fair enough.
Fucking hot.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's good. He's a cute cunt.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, he's cute, isn't he?
Yeah, Mitch Moses, I reckon. Oh no, actually, sorry, Dylan Brown.
Okay,
Dylan Brown.
That's good.
Dylan Brown and Reid Mahoney, my two favourite power players.
He played.
Mitch Moses is the hottest in the team, though.
Dylan Brown played an absolute killer against. Shit, how have I forgotten? Who they play in the rain? Just recently. Not
everyone. They played Dragons.
No, not last week. The week before.
They played. Was it Sharks?
Yeah, it was Cronulla.
Yeah.
Yeah. He killed that running game. Oh. Who do you hate more, Dogs or Penrith?
Dogs, 100%.
Okay. It's fine. Mitch or Pat?
Oh, that's not fair.
No. I'm just stitching on.
Mitch or Pat?
Who's more attractive? Who's prettier?
I'm not even saying that either. Oh, we all know it's Pat. If you see, if you get the opportunity in summer, we'll try and get him with his shirt off.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
I love the beard.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Funny story about Pat, and he'll like this. He'll appreciate this. We always we joke that he is. You watch like NRL Fox and stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
He's the professor.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, he is. He's the professor.
And then lastly, sort of just as like not lastly, second last question, sort of to carry on from last week's episode, what's the GOAT Australian beer? Sort of feel like you can say VB based on your Non-craft.
Non-craft, yeah. I have to say VB. It's like it's just my go-to.
Yeah, it's fair.
It's light. It's refreshing. I like Reshers and stuff like that too, but I don't know. It's just you have that one, and for me it's VB, and I can't even tell you exactly why. It's just that's the one.
Do you think if you had a VB and a Carlton draft next to each other, you could tell the difference?
Yeah, I can. I've played this game several times before. The one that you want to know the worst beer in Australia? I can tell you the worst beer in Australia.
What is it?
Fucking Tooheys New is the worst beer in Australia.
We agreed as well because no, Iron Jack is the worst beer in Australia.
Iron Jack's okay.
No. We had this.
Tooheys New is the worst. When I first got taught how to pour a beer when I just turned 18 at the Churros Tavern, and they were explaining to me the beers that went along, and they're like, "Hey, mate, this is Tooheys New, mate. Only alcoholics drink that, all right? So, and you'll get it once you see all the boys who drink it." I was like, "Okay, Tooheys New, alcoholics drink it." And I was like, "They actually fucking do."
Yeah, it's hell. Yeah, we said VB, Reshers, Carlton here.
Yeah,
Tooheys is just like so far.
Yeah, sorry to any Tooheys New fans, but it's rubbish beer.
What's the go? We said no craft beers, but what's your favourite craft beer?
The Grifter Pale Ale.
Okay, thank you.
Grifter Pale Ale is, I think that's the best. Like, I think that's the best inner west pale ale. It's like, I really like Newtowner, but like the Grifter Pale Ale is just heaps more sessionable.
The only thing that the Newtowner has, like obviously taste wise, it's like, it's so close, but I take the Grifter. But just accessibility, like finding it on tap. Newtowner's everywhere.
Oh, it's our best selling beer on tap. Yeah,
it's so good.
It sells more than VB and Carlton Draft.
Yeah, exactly.
It sells twice as many kegs as VB and Carlton Draft.
I remember once, Newtowner was on good keg for some reason.
Yeah,
and I was like, "What is going on here?" We were
it used to be when we owned the Lady Hampshire. That was like they sponsored it.
Wow,
that was
that's chronic.
That's
dangerous.
For good keg, we used to do like. That was like the record. We used to have like, it was like a minimum of $1,000 each time because people would just felt weird about paying $5 for a Newtowner, so they'd pay like 10.
Me and my mates we've always had we've always planned on but never actually gone through of like bringing 30 people here and breaking the good keg record.
Yeah,
but it's just like
you guys should. That'd be dope.
Yeah,
because it's going to charity.
But the thing is, there's a thing. It's like we can either pay more and drink less.
Yeah.
But because we're all poor uni students, it's like.
But that was the kind of point. Like, I mean, if we could talk about Good Keg for a sec.
Yeah, definitely.
That was the kind of point of Good Keg, was because we wanted to do something where we gave back, and so to replace a happy hour on a Friday, we were like, let's get a beer company to go behind this and go halves in a split keg, and people can pay whatever they want. And if people are like, oh well, I don't know what to pay, I feel weird saying like $1, well then you'd be like, well, usually a happy hour schooner Monday to Thursday is $5.
Yeah.
So that's
exactly.
Just treated as a happy hour.
Yeah.
I've had people come in here and put up $2, and I've like said, like, he came in and did it like 3 times, and Paddy always said to me, don't charity shame anyone, because we've said pay what you feel, we have to be true to it. And I said to this guy, I said, hey mate, you know the money for this keg's going to like White Ribbon or something like that, like domestic violence. I don't want to like call you out or anything, but you've had like 4 schooners for $2 each. And he's like, mate, I lost my wallet. I have $20 and I wanted to come and have some beer with my mates, and I still need to get a feed. And I'm like, no more questions asked. If anyone says anything to you, tell him Benny was sweet.
Yeah.
He genuinely that's every now and then we get people take the piss. That's very obvious to catch out. But that's why we didn't say there was a minimum amount. Pay whatever you feel. Yeah. This guy was short on cash that week, wanted some beers with his mates, and because of Good Keg, he was able to.
And he ended up giving $10.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love Good Keg. It's so unique. No one's pinched it either.
It started as like it's not an original idea. It started off as Karma kegs that were done, but I think we were probably the first pub to do it as like a regular thing. We've been doing it for 5 years now.
Yeah. It's a big part of, it's a selling point as well. Like people feel really, like my mates feel really good about it. It's like, it's like $15 for a jug.
Yeah.
And like
you pay happy hour prices.
Yeah. And on like a Monday, you see the selfie go up.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that was us.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point of it. Like it was just like, have a beer and give back. Some people are a bit weird with charity, but if it's not documented or they can't get a receipt for it, they're like, oh, well, like, did I actually give it back? And it's like, come on, man. Not everything needs to be posted on the internet for it to exist.
And we're not, but you do post on the internet.
Well, yeah, because I want to let people know.
Exactly,
but you know what I mean? I'm not going to then say, oh, the top good keg contributor was Parry with 8 schooners at $45.
No, the good thing about
people do the maths
from a business perspective as well. The good thing about a good keg is I can only have like 6 Carltons, right? So I end up buying rum and dries anyway.
Yeah.
So
well, it was
end
meant
up
to
blowing
be.
my wallet
It's meant
anyway.
to be a replacement for happy hour
Yeah,
while
exactly.
giving back. So we started at 4 p.m. every Friday, and like we tap a new keg, and the whole thing is that when the keg runs out, that's when we change it over. That doesn't happen that regularly, but the whole point was if you knock it off and you're looking for a cheap happy hour beer, well, let's go to the Gladiator on a Friday Arbor, and all the money that we spend on the beers is going to go to a charity.
Exactly.
And we do only Indigenous charities now. I've got a big list of them, and there's a big board up there, so you can see each week. We change it on a Monday, and go from there.
Huge. I love good keg. Big thing.
Yeah.
The good keg teas are fresh as well. The yellow ones.
Yeah, they're gone now. They're done. I sent the last one to Berlin.
Huge.
Like a girl and a boyfriend who are like old school, like Gladdy locals moved over there, and she's like, "Can you? If I buy one, can you post it to Berlin?" I'm like, "I've got one left. I'll just send it to you."
Yeah. Also, shout out the trivia. It's too hard. We came last night.
Is it hard? I haven't stayed and watched one.
I don't know.
Briggs has won 4 times now. Like I'm gonna have to pay intellectuals to come in and win. He can't keep winning. It's gonna kill everyone's spirits.
It's always close though. It was
Is it?
2 points. It was 2 points last
good.
night.
Okay, that's good then.
And then there are these regulars. Shout out to them. They probably there's a chance they're listening. They always come and they always give them a run for their money.
Yeah.
And like it's only a matter of time.
Oh, sweet. So could be a clutch moment.
Exactly.
Where Briggs gets taken down in trivia. What's the team
With
say?
the clutch, I don't know. Their team name last night was like just being ourselves or something like that.
Sweet. I'm just telling. Listen to this podcast and use it as inspiration. Have your clutch moment. Defeat Briggs.
I know. I feel like good on them.
Yeah.
It's hard though. It's tough. Well, I don't know. Maybe we're just dumb. Our team's shocking.
I mean, trivia is that one thing where it's like it is so random and stuff like that like it is probably pretty hard. But I think you just have to have a good run, and you have to have a good like your team needs to just be like someone who's into sports, someone who's into movies or like pop culture, and maybe like a full blown like actual nerd who's like knows facts and stuff like that.
Anyway, last question.
Sweet.
Already clocked the hour. Holy shit, it's flown by.
Yeah.
Breakfast podcast. If you had to recommend someone else to come on, who do you think needs their story told? Who would tell a good story on Parry Talks? Who do you reckon? Neck nominate.
I mean, always a guaranteed like good chat is Clancy from Batuta Advocate.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So he's often pops his head into the pub quite regularly.
Is that with the hat?
Yeah. Or Rowan Dix, aka Joyride. There's not too many more interesting people I know than Dixie, and he can talk sport, he can talk music, he can talk politics, he can talk anything, and he just has a very, very good talking voice to listen to.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And to watch him as well. Yeah. Shouts it. So it's my choice is Joyride. You should get Joyride.
Done. I'll tag him in this.
Yeah.
The pressure's on. He'll be here next week. Parry Talks, thanks so much for listening. If you've listened to this episode and you've listened this far and you find me in the pub and you're like, I listened to that episode to that point, I'll buy you a jug or whatever you want.
Yeah, sweet. If you come up to the bar and said, hey, Benny, I listened to your Parry Talks episode, it's a free schooner on the house for the next, we'll say for
2 weeks.
2 weeks after the
yeah.
episode comes out. And if anyone is keen to check out my clutch stuff, the website is www.nevernotclutch.com. That's also the Instagram handle. And the t-shirts, the Nookie, the Kobe, and the Jordan one will be live on Friday on the website.
Beautiful. That'll all be tagged in the bio as well. Sweet. Thanks for listening.